What do you want? Can you read you a story too, Spaz?
Well, this is my story.
Okay. What's this one about?
Bird eating this stuff.
What is that? Looks like fruit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Looks like it's fruit from a tree. It's called the Kweeks of Kookatumdee.
And the reason that's
Kookatumdee. Wait, Kookatumdee. Kookatumdee. That's it. The Kweeks of Kookatumdee.
Yeah.
This could be interesting. Far off, somewhere in the Tumbuzaro Sea, on the jungle island of Kookatumdee, there once lived a flock of strange bird-like things called Kweeks, with huge beaks and undersized wings. With no wild beasts living there to endanger the Kweeks, their only problem was eating, just filling their beaks. Come on, what are they looking at there?
I'm looking at these, huh?
I bet they want to eat them. The Kweeks couldn't fly, so they couldn't go anywhere. Their only food was the tropical fruit growing there, the purple pumpkin-sized fruit called plapalop, that grew in one towering plapa treetop. And since the Kweeks were entirely too clumsy to climb, getting something to eat was a matter of time.
They couldn't climb up there, huh?
They have to wait. They often spent hours just waiting around for the fruit to ripen and fall to the ground. Plopalops ripened and did finally fall. It was every bird for himself and a wild free-for-all. Kweek against Kweek, with not a one playing fair, and everyone out to get more than his share. The rougher and tougher and quicker the Kweek, the more plopalops he could snatch in his beak. At nighttime, the Kweeks were all huddled together in a cavern for shelter from the foggy, damp weather. As they slept, the Kweeks dreamed the same dream every night, that they had sprouted huge wings and were on a long flight to a beautiful island with plenty of space and plopala trees growing all over the place. As they awoke from the dream, they were irked as could be when they remembered they had only one plopala tree. A Kweek named Quentin was so worried one morning he made a short speech, which was more of a warning. "I'm sorry if I sound awfully preachy," he said, "but if we go on being greedy, there's trouble ahead. When it comes to eating, we must try to be fair, and be sure that no one gets more than his share." "Terrific, just dandy," the Kweeks all agreed. "From now on we'll be fair. Yes, yes, indeed."
What happened then?
Well, let's see. They tried to think of a plan that was just about right, so that each Kweek got a plop-lop without having to fight. But some days the plop-lops that dropped from the tree might be 100, or just 2 or 3. It was impossible to divide up an uncertain amount, especially since the Kweeks never learned how to count. How many for each remained a big question. Not even
1, 2,
they can't even count, Dave.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, but they don't know how to count like you do, Dave. They can't divide them up.
Oh.
The next morning, the Kweeks were brawling once more in a battle of beaks the same as before. And as Quentin predicted, there was trouble ahead. And the big troublemaker was a Kweek known as Jet. Every day he outfought and outate everyone, and in just a few months he weighed almost a ton. Look at him. He's getting big because he's eating more than everybody else. Jed was selfish and greedy, and not only that, the big oversized brute was quick as a cat. When a Plop-Lop dropped, he was ready to pounce and snap it up in his beak on the very first bounce. Unless a Plop-Lop came bouncing their way, all the rest of the Kweeks went hungry all day.
They're not going like him, huh?
No, because he's getting all the food. See? He's getting all the food because he's bigger, and they can't get him. They're hungry, but he's eating all the food. Because he's big and he's greedy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're hungry, the poor birds. Their bellies had shrunk. With so little to eat, the Kweeks weren't much more than big beaks and big feet. "We're done for," said Quentin one afternoon, "unless we do something drastic real soon. We can sneak up on Jed before he suspects and clobber the brute with a few thousand pecks." "A dandy idea!" exclaimed the Kweeks all at once. "We'll teach Jed not to bully us poor little runts." They're going to attack him, and peck on him, and teach him a lesson. At twilight, when fog drifted in from the sea, and Jed was napping under the tall plop of tree, the whole flock of Kweeks, crouching low to the ground, crept up to big Jed without making a sound. "Now remember," warned Quentin, "there's no turning back. Let's demolish the brute with an all-out attack."
I'm gonna pick up one of them, huh?
Yes. Quentin led the attack, catching Jed by surprise, with a ferocious peck between his squinty, mean eyes. But one peck was all. Alas and alack, his friends were too scared to join in the attack. All at once Quentin found for himself, beak to beak, with a fighting, mad, ferocious, gigantic Kweek. Uh-oh. They were too scared. He was the only one that attacked them. What's going to happen now?
I know.
I bet he's going to be mad and chase him. What do you think?
I think he can chase him.
I bet you're right. Look at you, little creep, squawked Jed. "You little upstart. Just for that silly trick, I'm going to peck you apart." Then before he could snatch the small Kweek in his beak, Quentin was gone. He took off like a streak. The chase was now on, with Jed in red-hot pursuit, and Quentin zigzagging to escape the big brute. But the island was such a very small place, there wasn't much room for a very long chase.
No, I bet he's mad, huh?
Oh yeah, 'cause he got pecked on the head. Uh-oh. What's going to happen?
I don't know.
He's caught on the edge. He can't get away. What's going to happen? Uh-oh. Looks bad for him. Jed was out to get even, no matter what, and he finally chased Quentin to a very tight spot at the edge of a bluff, with nowhere to go, unless he jumped into the rough sea down below. But if he jumped in the sea, he'd be a goner for sure, and a fierce peck on the head was too much to endure. There was just one thing left for poor Quentin to do.
What?
What do you think he's going to do?
I don't know.
Look, he's got wings.
Yeah, I think he's gonna fly right away.
Look at that! You're right, Dave. He flew away. In desperation, the little Kweek finally flew. Frantically flapping his wings, he sailed over the head.
But he can't fly, huh?
Because he's too big and fat.
Yeah.
Of the flabbergasted, befuddled,
But he's
dumbfounded
real,
Jed.
huh? But
Yeah.
and
see?
he can fly.
That's because he's all hungry and little. See, that's why he can fly, but he's so big and fat that he can't fly.
No, he can only walk, huh?
Then out over the island, Quentin went gliding to surprise his Kweek friends who were all still in hiding.
Yeah, but he's going down and down.
Look at that. "Come on out," Quentin shouted. "Look up here in the sky. Look at me. I can fly. It's easy as pie. Now, come on, everyone. Flap your wings and just try it. We're all light as a feather from our starvation diet." And with squeals of delight, the Kweeks took off together, as easy as pie and as light as a feather. Then after saying goodbye to Kookatumdee, the Kweeks flew across the Tumbuzzarosee. See,
He can't fly.
he's left there all by himself because he was greedy. And the other guys flew away, and look where they landed.
Where?
And they happened onto an island, as it turned out, which resembled the place they had all dreamed about, with dozens of tall ploppa trees growing there, and plopalops for all, with plenty to spare. They didn't dare overeat, for fear they'd get fat. The happy Kweeks enjoyed flying too much for that.
Yeah, but I want to go again, huh?
And that's the end. What's the lesson of that story, Dave?
The end.
It means there's a lesson to be learned in this story, Dave.
Yeah, we can look at this.
Yeah, the lesson is you shouldn't be greedy, right?
Right.
Because if you're greedy, bad things can happen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that big bird Jet. He was greedy and he got fat and he couldn't fly. And the other birds, they got skinny and they were able to fly away to a nice island that had more trees on it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you shouldn't be greedy. Do you want to read the other book?
But maybe you want to read this again?
Well, perhaps when Samantha comes over, we can read it again. Do you want to do that?
Well, perhaps I can look at the picture.
Okay.
When he was greedy, then he couldn't fly,
Right.
then he kept on, he had like fear. And they had an idea. And I said, I want to be like the rare morning. Last morning, well, teach them a lesson. It's about peach as I
Now, this is before that part, Dave. This is the part where he said we should be fair.
to be fair.
Yeah, but they don't know how.
You pick on them.
And there's the big guy. He's getting big and fat.
Yeah.
They're sneaking up on him. And bonked him on the head. Look at that. Packed him right on the head.
Boy, doesn't it? You just chase them.
Yep.
You don't get mad and chase them.
Yep. There he goes. He's after him. And what's going to happen next, Dave?
I don't know. Can't fly, huh?
Who can't fly?
He can fly, but he's not him. He's big and fat.
Yeah.
Hey, Guzzo, look at me. I can fly. I can fly. Hey, Bucks, you come back here. I want to fly too.
He can't because he's too big.
And you listen to the story. The sheep are running somewhere else to get them more berries. And then they were big and thick. And then actually now when you see I'm a big fat boy in the other trees and say hey, come back, please. I'm gonna fly too. Next story is keep a story in your heart.